afternoon to you. I wanted to give you an update and just remind you that letter one is due by the end of the day today, which is the 17th. If you need a few more days, I wouldn't be opposed to waiting until the 20th, but it's just an introduction to Blackboard, how to successfully navigate and use Blackboard. Even Blackboard Help is helpful. They have some documents and videos even, and so that's really, really useful to use. Um, I went to Chatham University a couple years ago and got another degree, but while I was there, we used Moodle. And one thing that I found out about Moodle is Moodle and Microsoft Internet Explorer did not work well, so I had to use like Google Chrome, and it worked a lot better. So, but anyhow, as you work through a system, and then one other thing that I found out that I learned the hard way is sometimes when you would click submit to the discussion board, poof, it would disappear. So of course after that, I started to type all my discussion boards into Word, and then would save them and edit them, and that was obviously a better lesson for me to learn. So, like I said, with your letter, you're explaining to the student how to go through and navigate, especially like people have a little bit of a problem with the discussion board. And so, but anyhow, you can mention that, of course, assignments, the grade book, sending email. Some faculty use course documents. With the assignments, I have you email them to me. Some actually have students put them right into the grade book. So people approach the course slightly differently, but all you're really doing is letting the person know how to successfully navigate through an entire semester and use Blackboard effectively, and then also too, managing a semester with Blackboard and online learning. Because when you're an in-class course, if you're in a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class, 50 minutes, 3 times a week, you get to see the other students and the instructor 45 times. So that's a pretty significant number. In an online class, you don't get to see the other students, but on the other hand, more jobs today are done at a distance. My one student, Carolyn Kegler, that was in this class, works as a rep for Dale, and her home base is up in Johnstown, but she's rarely there. She travels all about, Cambria, Westmoreland, Fayette County, Greene County. She goes over to Ohio. She goes to West Virginia. And so she carries a laptop, a tablet, and some other references, and of course her smartphone and tools and things like that. But I mean, she's always out on the road, so she has to figure out some problems and issues herself, and troubleshoot them. I went over to the, I take students to the nursing simulation lab, and we get to see how those simulators work. They can simulate a heart attack. They can simulate on an adult, pneumonia. They have teenagers. They have toddlers. They have infants. They have preemies. But they all have these electronics in them. But the company's name is Lairdale, and the technician that was there the one day, his name's Howard. He was telling us like what he does, and so he goes around and he fixes and maintains and does preventative maintenance on these simulation people. And but if there's a problem, whatever, then he figures it out. And if he can't figure it out, then he'll call other technicians or engineers or whatever, and they get to the resolution of it. So I'm just saying that, online classes are pretty helpful to get you to develop skill sets that are applicable to the 21st century. So, and again, then you would want to cover some of the pros and cons of online learning. For next week, for the 24th, you just have to do letter 2, and you can write about a problem or a dangerous intersection, or you can do a memorandum proposal on why WCCC needs an instructional technologist. And again, like I use MP3 files, I use YouTube. I'd love to learn how to use Prezi, though. I think that's a pretty good software. Camtasia, podcasting, things like that. So Pitt of Greensburg has an instructional technologist. They have like 3,000 students, so they have about half of the number of our students, but it serves them very, very well. So that's your option. And then finally, you have one more discussion board posting related to the Consumer Report by the 1st, and then the consumer report is absolutely due by the 1st. If you want to submit your consumer report by the end of the day today, the 17th, you'll get 20 more points, and by the 24th, you'll get 10 more points. That's it. Have a great weekend.